Over the span of 4 years, I am the fastest I've ever been, both in water and on land. I'm also the strongest I've ever been in the gym. And I've built the best physique I've ever had, packing on a ton of muscle, being the leanest I've ever been. And guess what? I work in online sales. I work 50 to 60 hours a week. So I'm going to break down three things that I did that helped me do this without putting in much effort. Now, number one is going to be nutrition, which you probably guessed it. And before you swipe off this video, just give me a few minutes. Let me explain to you why nutrition is so important, because you probably hear a ton of these people saying, oh, your nutrition is everything. The abs are made in the kitchen where we are right now. That's why I'm filming this video here. But let me actually explain to you why nutrition, not why it's important, but what I do for my nutrition and why I truly think that if you just take one or two things from what I say in this video, it's going to help you a lot. Number one, which you would never guess, I follow a plant-based diet. Yes, I'm a vegan. I tell people I'm a vegan in the streets. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm lying sometimes. But I'm a vegan for two reasons. Number one, recovery. I've noticed that recovery is so much faster and it's more efficient when you're following a plant-based diet. I cannot explain to you why. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a scientist, but I've noticed compared to when I was eating animal foods and compared to when I was eating plant-based foods, my recovery is so much better. Number two, my energy levels are through the roof. If you had to see how I take my meetings these days, people think I'm crazy. I'm taking the white powder stuff, but I'm not. I just follow a plant-based diet and I feel amazing. Okay, so that's the reason why I follow a plant-based diet. I'm not saying that you have to follow it. It's your own, I guess, decision, but I followed it for just medical reasons as well. Number two, which is very important, that's going to be your protein intake. So, as you've probably heard, have a gram of protein per pound of body weight. You don't need to have the 200 grams of protein. You don't need to extend it that far. In fact, you can even push it down to 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for me, at my current weight, that's about 145 grams of protein per day. And eating a plant-based diet, if I can follow a plant-based diet and eat 145 grams of protein a day, eating an animal-based diet, it's not going to be hard to get your protein intake in. Okay, so have a gram, if not 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now, number three, you can only do this step if you have a gram or 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is eat less calories. And the reason why I say eat less calories is because you just feel better. When you are bulking or when you have increased your calories, sometimes you feel sluggish. Your brain just goes funny. You have a lot of brain fog, especially when you are running or you're swimming or you're cycling. You feel heavy. No one wants to feel heavy in the pool when they're running or when they're cycling. No one wants to feel that. People want to feel light. People want to feel like fast. People want to they want to do things quickly. So that's why I say eat less calories. So for me, I probably eat about 300 calories less than my maintenance. Not because I'm trying to lose weight. Okay, yes, I like being shredded. I like being lean. But that's because I just feel better. Like I said, I'm in sales. I need to be on the ball. I need to have high energy. And if I'm eating like 600 calories above my maintenance, I'm gonna feel sluggish. I'm not gonna be quick in the pool, which is what I'm doing now, which is swimming. I'm just gonna feel lazy. I'm gonna have a lot of brain fog. So that's why I recommend eat a bit less than your maintenance calories. You're gonna feel better. But number two, also, you need to be eating a gram per pound of body weight if you want to gain muscle at the same time. And a lot of people come to me and say, hey, Steph, oh, they don't actually come to me, I'm lying. But a lot of people are like, how the hell do I build muscle and get lean at the same time? Eat a little bit less on your maintenance, eat a gram of protein per pound of body weight. It's that simple. Number four, and you probably won't think it's important, but for me, it probably made one of the biggest difference, not as much as the protein, but a very big difference. And that is, by the way, the reason I'm looking down is because my computer's here. So like I memorize all this stuff. It's going to be your meal and macro timing. So when you eat your meals in the day and when you prioritize certain macros. Now, when I say macros, I say your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. So this is what I do. This is what I recommend. If you want to get faster and stronger, typically we're going to have one cardio session and one strength training session a day. Okay. So this is how I plan it. In the morning, I'll have breakfast to fuel my strength workout. Okay, now in this breakfast, I'll have probably about 20 grams of protein, 40, 50 grams of carbs. I don't want to be so full in my strength training session. Then, after I've hit my strength training session, I have a little snack. That snack is going to be a protein shake, because the reason why I have a protein meal in the beginning and a protein meal at the end is for protein synthesis. Also, we have that thing called an anabolic window, which is 45 minutes to like an hour and 30 minutes after your workout. You want to get in at least 20, 30 grams of protein. So that's why it's so simple. After my workout, I just make a quick protein shake. And that's going to help with the protein synthesis. Then I'll have lunch, which is a very high protein meal. Okay, the carbs are there. I don't really worry about the carbs, but it's a high protein meal for lunch. Then what I'll do, which is at about maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, I'll have a very high carb snack. So something can be like a bowl of fruit. It can be rice cakes with a banana and peanut butter. The reason why I have this carb snack or this carb overloaded snack is because an hour after that, I'll go to the pool and I'll hit a swimming session. Now, in the swimming session, I need as much carbs as possible to fuel myself for this workout. So the reason why I get those carbs at the beginning is so I can have energy for this workout and I can get through it. Then, right after I'm finished my cardio session, I'll have dinner, which is a high protein, high carb meal. So you can see, different times of the day, I prioritize different macros. More of the morning, I prioritize more of like protein and stuff, and later during the day I'll prioritize more of my carbs. Two reasons: obviously to fuel my cardio workout, but number two is because carbs just make you sleep. Okay, and your sleep is going to get much better. We don't want to have high protein meals at night because it takes longer to digest protein. It takes quicker to digest carbs. So I'll stack my carbs more at the end so I can sleep and just so I can digest it better. And then lastly, on the nutrition aspect, is going to be electrolytes. Now, when I say electrolytes, I don't mean you have to go to the shop and spend thousands on these electrolyte drinks. Can I tell you what I do? It's a simple, simple trick. Take a bottle of water. I take a grinder of salt. In fact, give me a second. Himalayan salt is what I use. I grind about six to 10 times in this bottle. Half a lemon, I squeeze it in with my creatine monohydrate, and that's my electrolyte drink. And the reason why I have salt and lemon, let me explain to you. Because some people say, hey, put this in that and put this in whatever. They don't explain to you why. The reason why you put salt is for the sodium. We want the sodium for the electrolytes. And then we want the lemon for the magnesium. Okay? It's that simple. So all those things that I've mentioned are everything that you really need for nutrition. I'll summarize it very quickly. I follow a plant-based diet. I eat enough protein. I eat less calories. I time my meals and I have electrolytes. 5 simple things that are very, very important when it comes to your nutrition. Now, next is going to be exercise. Now, I'm not going to explain to you every single thing that I do for exercise, but I'm going to give you the principle and the foundation so you can take that and go apply to your own routine and your own lifestyle. Number one, what is your priority? Is it strength or is it speed? Yes, we're going to get both, but what is your focus? If you're like myself, who has been strength training for a few years and they want to focus on speed, then focus on speed. But if you're a person who has been doing cardio for their whole life and they want to get big in the gym, focus on the gym. Now, once you've chosen your priority, whether it's strength or speed, let's say you chose strength, then what we want to do is we want to strength train 5 to 6 times a week. If you can do 6 times, perfect. But if not, 5 to 6 times. Then for your less priority one, which is going to be your cardio, speed, I would recommend 3 times a week. So for me right now, I strength train about 3 to 4 times a week. And then I would do swimming for about 5 times a week. That's my schedule at the moment. That's because I don't want to get too sore. I don't want to, I don't know, be dead half the day because I still have online meetings that I got to take on a daily basis. So that's just what works for me. Just apply whatever is going to fit in your routine or lifestyle. Don't just blindly copy me. Number two, let's talk about strength training. I really wish you can take this in. You're probably not going to take it in, but I had to learn the hard way. And that is warm up first before you strength train. Trust me. I have a shoulder injury. I have a knee injury. I have back and neck injuries. It is not fun when you lift. Like let's say you're doing bench press. The next day, you have some random pain in your neck and you wake up and you're like, it's horrible. What I recommend, take 10 minutes out of your session and dedicate that towards stretching, like dynamic movements, getting some blood circulating in your body. Do that with your rotator cuff. Just warm up. Trust me, you don't want to be strength training for a few years and then by the fifth year, you're moving like a grandpa. We just don't want it. It's no bueno. And then number two, which is a part that you've heard a lot, and this has helped me the most. I actually I didn't listen to people when they said this, but you got to lift heavy if you want to get big. Like you really do. Yes, you look at those guys that have been training for 10 years and they're lifting lightweight and you can see how big they are. They've been lifting heavy for the past 9 years. Just because they're lifting light doesn't mean you have to lift light. So as a skinny guy, you have to lift, or even if you're not skinny, if you want to build muscle, you have to lift heavy, typically between the 6 to 10 rep range, if not 8 rep range, or 4 to 8 reps. Okay, lift as heavy as possible and actually push yourself in the gym. You can't be smiling and laughing in the gym. You need to be sweating. You need to actually look, it needs to look like you're having a good workout. Okay. Point three, which is the cardio, or let's say you're running, you're swimming. Right now, I do swimming because I have a knee injury, but let's say you're running, you're swimming, you're cycling, whatever the case may be. What I recommend is follow the 80-20 principle. The reason we're doing cardio is because obviously we want to get more fit, right? We want to be able to last longer. And if you want to be able to last longer and increase and improve your cardio, you need to follow the 80-20 principle, which is 80% focus on aerobic training. What is aerobic training? Aerobic training is where you train between a 50 to 60% heart rate, right? We are basically not using as much effort. So we're doing longer runs, we're doing longer swims, we're doing things at a half effort. Now you're probably wondering why the hell? Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I just follow principles and understand them and they work. And I'm explaining them to you. And then the 20% that you're probably thinking about, where does that come from? That's going to come from intensity, speed, typically zone 4 and zone 5 training, which is a very high heart rate, 80-90% heart rate. We want to really be pushing ourselves in these workouts, okay? So for 80% of your workouts, focus on just aerobic training, where you're just training for quite a long time, not as much effort. And then 20%, push yourself, increase the speed, the intensity, okay? Then, number 4, yoga and stretching. Like I said, it's either you do it now or you're going to learn the hard way like I did. I probably strength trained for about 3 years without any yoga and any stretching. Maybe I stretched once every 6 months or something. Like I just didn't stretch. Maybe I'd do a couple of those things for my chest when it was sore. Um, those aren't even good for you. But trust me, at least do yoga two times a week, 3 times. Now I'm doing it like almost every day. I think I do it every second day or something. But yoga has helped me immensely in these past 2 months of me being injured and stuff. Yoga has helped me a lot and takes me about 30 minutes out of my day. Nothing crazy. So if possible, try do it every second day. If you can't, 2 to 3 times should be fine. Like I said, if you want to learn the hard way, go for it just like I did. If you're a young kid who has not done as much strength training before, then I recommend just learn the hard way. Don't do yoga. Learn it yourself. You're gonna have aches and pains like I have when you're a bit older. But for the older guys that understand the pains that you get after strength training, you know what to do. Okay. And then the last point, which is probably one of the most important ones, is listen to your body. Your gut is always right. Let's say you're running and you feel some pain in your knee. Don't ignore it. Take the time, listen to it. I have a 3-step, I guess, formula when it comes to a pain that you have, which is number 1, stop. Number 2, question it. Then number 3, reiterate. Now, when I say reiterate, either continue, do it a different way, or just stop doing it at all. Okay? I'm a person who's just, it's either go hard or go home. Like it's nothing or something, right? So during my days of strength training, when I had pains in my shoulders and my chest and my knees and stuff, I wouldn't give a shit. I was like, why bother? If I'm not dead, then why bother? So if you feel something, listen to your body because your gut is always right. And if you feel a pain in your knee, your shoulder, your neck, just stop, question it, and reiterate. Can I continue? Can I not? Oh boy, number three, that's mindset. Just just give me a second. It may sound very witchy, washy, very, I don't know, witchcraft types of shit, but just listen. I posted two Instagram stories the other day from a very, very good reflection I had on a Sunday. Let me just read it to you. You are what you think about. If you only think negatively, that negativeness will manifest into what it is you are doing. If you think positively, that positiveness will manifest into what you are doing. If you think of something a certain way, that way will manifest into your reality. Control and wield how you think, and that will become true. Take a moment for that to sink in. Let me read you the second one. Actually, let me first elaborate on that. No, let me read the second one. Number two, it all starts with a decision. Once you decide to dedicate yourself towards making money, it will happen. Once you decide to take the gym seriously, it will happen. Until that decision is made, you will hit the goal that you want. You cannot half-ass things. It's either you're in or you're out. Oh boy, how do I even, geez, how do I explain that to you? Basically, and this, I, I I've personally experienced this. If you think you're a person, let's say you're a skinny guy, right? And you always think that you're a skinny guy and you cannot build muscle and you're weak and you just cannot bench press a lot, then you can try as hard as you want with nutrition, with the exercise. But if you don't believe that you are capable of being a strong person, in fact, you are a strong person, you can lift heavy, it's not going to happen. Like they say, if you believe it, you can achieve it. It's the same principle. It's the exact same principle. And also, with the story again, once you decide to take something seriously, which is the gym and your nutrition, you actually put 2 feet in the water and you take it seriously. That's when the transformation happens. Let's say you're half-assing your tracking of calories or your macros, or you're half-assing at the gym, only working out with half the effort. You can't half-ass these things. It's either you're in or you're out. Let me give you an example about the thinking part. If you don't know David Hawkins is like a neuro something something. He has a book called Letting Go that I read the other day. Actually, the other month, sorry, it's been a while. He did a study where to test the strength of someone's muscle based on their thinking. When he got someone to think of something positively, maybe it was relationships or money or just spirituality, when they were thinking positively, instantly their muscles increased by, I think it was like 55% or something. So that just shows you that the way you think determines everything. Like even Michael Phelps, one of the greatest swimmers in the world, he says you need to see it to actually achieve it. If you want to lift, let's say 225 pounds, I was doing that because it's a deadlift, but 225-pound bench press, you need to see yourself lifting it first. You need to think that it's already done so it can happen. I know it sounds so witchy-washy, it sounds stupid, but trust me, just start thinking as that person that's already done it. Think as the person who's lifted the weight. They've built the physique. They are that strong person. Think as that person, you're going to become that person. Then number three, which is probably the last point that I want to round off this video with, is the elastic band effect. I'll put a picture of what I'm talking about. Let me just zoom out here. Your body and your mind have to be aligned hand in hand. If your mind thinks negatively, like let's say your mind thinks you're a skinny person and your body wants to become like you want to become a strong person, right? But your mind thinks you're a skinny person. The elastic band effect will just pull you back right where you belong. So your body and your mind have to move together. If you want to be a strong person, your mind has to be a strong person. It's like, for example, let's say the microphone is your mind, okay? Oh, I want to be a strong person. I want to be a strong. Actually, no, sorry. Let's do it the other way around. You yourself want to be a strong person, okay? So my body, I put the work in, I hit the gym, I do the cardio, I follow the nutrition plan, but the mind still thinks you're a skinny person. No, come right back. You don't belong there. What are you doing there? Who are you? So you need to move together hand in hand. And I know it sounds very wishy-washy. It sounds stupid. It sounds crazy. You're probably thinking I'm some mental guy. But I promise you that the way you think determines your reality. And if you just think you're a strong person, you're a fit person, and you can actually do what you want to do, it will become your reality. Excuse my language. Hope this video was helpful. See you in the next one. Peace.